Coast Studios in Oklahoma City. You're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson here with Barry Tramel, and we are brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online anytime and order your pizza at papajohns.com. It's time for We Pick 'em, and Barry, just because the college football regular season is over does not mean good sports options don't still exist. We're just going to outline your whole weekend here, so stay tuned as we get started on Thursday night with this doozy of a game at the Peak, Barry. Cavs at Thunder. Who you picking?
Well, LeBron James comes to town with his new band. We've seen him before with Cleveland. The last 4 years he's been with the Heat. Now he's back with the new look Cavs, and they're playing much better. Shaky start, playing much better. Thunder, shaky start, not playing so much better. However, I think Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, as they get more and more acclimated into the lineup, I think Thunder will start to look more like the elite level squad that we've seen. I think they'll be jacked up for Thursday night. I'll take the Thunder.
Yeah, I'm taking the Thunder too. And, you know, you're right. If you look at the trajectory of the two teams, while both are winning more in recent games than they did to start the year, still a lot of questions with the Thunder. But these Cav wins, I look at them and they're a little, in my mind, I still have questions because I think the Cavs are going to come to town on an 8-game winning streak, but it's largely against Eastern Conference teams, some not so great ones in there. I just don't know how improved they are. I don't know if they're on as firm a footing as it looks like they are, but it's going to be a heck of a contest. I do think that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook and their band of merry men will play as well as they've played since those two have been back. Should be a fun time Thursday night. All right, Barry, what about Friday night? Hey, a little high school action here. We've got a Class A state championship game between the locals at Cashion and the Thomas Terriers. Who are you going to take in this one?
I have to admit, I am no expert on Class A high school football.
Now, hold on a second.
Therefore, I revert to the time-honored tradition of I pick the team whose nickname I like the most, and therefore I have to go with the Thomas Terriers. Of course, they got a great tradition also. Reminds me of, they had the well over 100-game district winning streak,
right.
Spanned decade after decade. We actually had a reporter at the game when they finally lost a district game, and Mike Baldwin called in to report and said, "Give me the desk. History has been made." So that's my Thomas story. I'll take the Terriers.
Well, and I'm going to go with Cashion. They were much like Thomas in recent years, as recent decades, has rallied off some championships. Cashion won quite a few themselves, but not in 11-man ball. Always an 8-man ball. Their last time in the state championship game was 91. So way to go, Cashion, to get back there in 11-man ball. They score a bunch of points up at Cashion. You better lace them up tight, Thomas. I'm taking Cashion in this one on Friday night. All right, Barry, a couple basketball games on Saturday afternoon. The OU men head up the Turnpike to Tulsa, 1:30 on Saturday. Who you got in this one?
You know, the Sooners are playing very well. They did well in that Bahamas tournament, won 2 games against Butler and UCLA, lost to Wisconsin in the finals. But they're in for a little bit of a holy war in Tulsa. The Sooners don't often go up to T-Town. Tulsa gets the Sooners in their own gym. Tulsa's got a decent team. Now, Tulsa got thrashed by Oklahoma State, but Tulsa beat the Creighton team that beat the Sooners. So I think Tulsa will be fired up for this game. I'll take the Golden Hurricane in the upset.
Wow, I'm going Sooners in this one. It's going to be interesting as everybody's in finals, so everybody's kind of got these long layoffs, maybe not practicing much. So I think rust could be a little bit of an issue for both teams to knock off the rust. And Tulsa, obviously will have the emotion going. But I tell you, I think there'll be a lot of Sooner fans there too, because you got Sooner fans up in Tulsa that don't have to drive down to Norman to see the team play. They can buy tickets and go watch. So I think the crowd will be maybe not as tilted towards Tulsa as it might otherwise be. And I just think OU, with their size and talent inside, I think that's where they make the difference. Although a fun matchup, Barry, the Woodard brothers out on the perimeter. It should be fun to watch those two go at it in a game that really means a lot. All right, Barry, what about the OSU men? They're going to Memphis. That's a 5 o'clock start on Saturday. Can they get back on the winning side after that South Carolina mess?
I don't think so. Memphis is not as good as they have been the last couple of years, but it's still a solid program, great fan base, big following, tough place to play. And this Cowboy team did not show that it was ready for any kind of road environment, the way they got blown out in Columbia. Cowboys split with Memphis a year ago. Both teams are retooled. I'm going to take Memphis.
I'm going to to go with OSU, and I know that South Carolina game, I called it a mess, and that's probably being nice. I was in the car during the second half headed to the Bedlam football game, and frankly, I'm glad I was because I'd have been looking for something else to watch on the TV. It was definitely a disappointment to see how far OSU was from making that game even competitive. But I'm going to chalk that up to I want to see a little bit more before I think that's the way this OSU team is. Bad shooting day for several of those guys at South Carolina. I can't imagine they shoot that poorly all year. They had some issues with the sides that South Carolina had inside, really kind of put the damper, especially on Nash to start with, LeBron Nash, and he never really recovered. I just don't think that they're going to be as poor a shooting team as they were at South Carolina. I think that was an anomaly, although Memphis may prove me wrong, but I'll take OSU for the time being. All right, Barry, what about this Sunday night game? Lots of good NFL action. It's Week 15. The playoffs are almost here, for crying out loud, but Dallas goes to Philly, 7:30 on Sunday. Who you got in this one?
Well, this is for the NFC East lead. These guys are tied at 9-4, and we saw this morality play on Thanksgiving Day, and the Eagles whacked the Cowboys. I don't really see what's changed. That did not look like any kind of strategic problem, didn't look like injury problem, just looked like Philly was way better than Dallas. I don't know how that changes so quickly. I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going with the Eagles as well, and I feel the same way. Maybe Dallas goes up there and plays better on the road in the hostile environs of Philly, but I just don't see it. I mean, I still think Dallas is a really good team. I think they've got a great chance to, head into the playoffs and make some noise there, but they just seem like they're at a disadvantage in this Philly matchup. It's often been a stumbling block for them. It was the game that they lost to not make the playoffs a year ago in the regular season finale. Philly just kind of seems to have their number regardless of the situation. So at Philly, I don't know how you can not pick the Eagles. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.